But some ice. Check this out. Dr. Postel, car absolutely crushed by falling icicle in New York City. This trunk fell away. Try 20 stories. No one was hurt. Falling ice is going to continue to be a problem as New York thaws out from the record cold we had, Dr. Postel, just last week.
One of the concerns when you're around skyscrapers in the wintertime, you don't want ice and snow falling from those high altitudes because that could pose a problem, as it did apparently here. But good news here, as you said, nobody was hurt.
No one was hurt.
Right.
But yeah, gravity can be some crazy times. Hey, next up, let's show you what else. What else do we have for you? This is Western New York, probably wishing that winter weather would let them go. Yeah, these are falls. This is the frozen middle falls at Letchworth State Park.
You know what I don't see here?
Parking garage or Yeti. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Well, it's one of two things, and I think you nailed them both.
Okay, absolutely. But you know, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see, but it has been a very tough spell in parts of the Northeast. They could use a bit of a warm-up, but what does Dr. Postel? Some of the places will, other places not so much.
Correct. I think they're going to get a little bit of a warm-up before it gets really cold again, and that transition, unfortunately, is going to come with some rain and snow and ice.
Yeah, look at this. You know, it's not just limited to parts of the Northeast, but also in the South. This is Tangier Island. This is in Virginia. Yeah, still a lot of ice out there. National Guard is aiding this iced-in island, trying to get aid to these folks, trying to get some folks evacuated. So even though we've moved forward quite a few days, they're still dealing with the story. And what a crazy one it has been. And I know, Dr. Postel, with our update, we've got a lot more crazy stories from many people.
Yeah, we do. Let's talk about the winter weather coming into much of the Midwest Ohio Valley beginning tomorrow night, Thursday night. Okay. So look at the map. We've got lots of ice. Now, there could be a lot of it. This is not just sort of a drizzle event. There could be substantial rain coming down, freezing on contact. Some models are giving over a half of an inch of ice to some places in Kentucky, Southern Illinois, Indiana. Be very mindful of that, especially on Friday morning.
My goodness. And then on Friday morning, we do see, look at Tennessee. What a weird difference you have in parts of the state. It's just crazy.
And notice we get, so you transition from rain over to the ice, then over to snow, and then, of course, back behind everything, it is really cold. So this is kind of the real problem with all this. A lot of times when you have that freezing rain, it warms up and you get the melting.
Sure.
This is one of those cases where it gets colder on the backside, and we are going to be dealing with ice for days to come.
Oh, what a hot mess and a cold time. Look at this on Friday night. What, moving in the Ohio Valley this time?
Correctamundo. The East Coast cities stay rain throughout the event. They never get that transition, I don't think. But interior New England, the ski resorts probably deal with some freezing rain and sleet and maybe even some snow as well.
Wow. This is something that's really troublesome. I know ice is always a huge concern. The Euro's showing some pretty scary stuff here. Yeah,
generally over half of an inch of ice, which could be all kinds of damaging, bringing down power lines for those that are still exposed, trees down as well in some places. So power outages could be a real problem across this region. We have to watch very closely for how much falls because freezing rain is the worst of all.
Okay, and then the totals, man, Western New York still gets pummeled once again by then that's not even lake effect, is it?
No.
There you go.
This comes on top of that freezing rain, which is the problem that I mentioned. So we go from rain in many of these locations over to that freezing rain and ice, and then over to snow, and then cold air for a couple of days more. So this is a problem with this event. It gets colder as it moves away after that ice.
So the sun's going to come out, mild air, that's not going to happen. Out to the west, though, different story.
Different story. So this is looking ahead to next week.
Okay.
And this map shows you that in the east, where we have that snow event, it is very likely to be below average, and in some cases, way below average. So highs in the teens and 20s will be common across that region. But as you said, the west stays warm. But there's better news on the horizon. We've been talking about this, Reynolds. Check this map out.
There you go. Cranking up the heat a little bit. Has to warm the heart.
Yes. So looking beyond that, so maybe about 10 days out, it's a long way out, but we're pretty good at forecasting temperatures that far out. Much warmer regime will likely be moving into the lower 48 and give everybody another relief from the very cold and icy times.
The fluctuations are crazy, aren't they?
They sure are.
Thanks so much, Dr. Postel. Okay, we're going to fluctuate away to a commercial break. We'll see you after that.
Indeed.